Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to today's Daily Peak, where once again I am going to be trying to beat day's peak. That's how words work. I am, having a day. I'm a bit tired out. Bit of a scare last night. It nothing huge, but, you know. So, yeah, I'm a little tired. Didn't didn't sleep all that well. Um, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and refill my meds. Just because I will forget to do that if I don't do it on stream. Hell of a day to have an event. Not even like a personal, just like a more general event. Wouldn't you like a taste of the magic? Wouldn't you like to use more than words? Deep in the night, the fight lasts for hours. You could beat her, you could be heard. Alright. I don't remember what I was doing. Hey, Max. Nice to see you again. Caught in 4K. Lovely. It happens. Sorry, I said this a moment ago when there was no one online. I had a bit of a scare last night. I won't get into it, but I am tired because I didn't sleep all that well. So if I am a little less... No, you cannot. I will make an announcement on my Discord community. And I will correct the closed lobby in the title of the stream if I ever decide to play with viewers. Uh-huh. You can make as many frowny faces as you want. I'm having a day. Uh-huh. Again, I will make a whole announcement. You don't need to ask. Wouldn't you like a taste of the magic? Wouldn't you like to use more than words? Deep in the night, the fight lasts for hours. You could beat her, you could be heard. But yeah, hey, how's it going, Digi? How's it going, Megabud? I don't recognize Megabud there, but hi, Digi. It is nice to see a new face around. I am doing my best to have a normal one. Tired? I'm feeling it. I feel that too. I really do. Had a bit of a scare last night. So, yeah. Didn't sleep great. I think I had basically two-hour naps over the course of the last like 8 hours. It's a whole thing. A friend of mine sent a message that was more ominous than they intended. So, yeah. Of course, by which I mean I was deeply worried about their mental health. Take half a tablet by mouth once per day. I'm realizing that I have no idea how to split these tablets. I had a little tool for it, and that tool is gone. I will do that later. It's a later time. Had to do an event? Ooh. Fun. At least I hope it was fun. I mean, I could go get a knife, but I'm not doing that on stream. Find myself a kniffy. Ooh, first robotics event. Nice. My brother does some robotics stuff. Is the head of safety for the local club. So that's fun. I filled up my pill organizer and then I forgot to take the pills. It got first place for your district. That's good. I think, unless we're going based off of a first is the worst system here. Who knows? Alright. I am going to take my morning meds. If you guys have meds to take, I would advise you do so now. I don't think you want to do anymore. 14K steps per day. Oh my god. I mean, you're getting the good exercise, that's for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and boot up the game. I did hit the button, right? Okay, yep. 3-day event. Oh my god. Okay. That's what? 28 plus 14. 32. 42K steps total. Jeez. You do a lot better than I do. Because I do not do that much stepping. If I lived in a city, I'd go out more. Like, it wouldn't be like a daily walking around situation, but it would be more. Makes sense. I live right next to a major street, so this area isn't all that walkable. The assumption is kind of that you have a car and will use it to get around. Problem being that I've got a lot of dissociation stuff that goes on. And one of the notable things that has a tendency to trigger my disassociation is driving. Because it is a stressful experience, and when I start experiencing that stress, my brain's like, okay, let's back up, let's remove ourselves emotionally from the situation. But one of the notable problems with doing that is that it also cuts my reaction time by a lot. So... yeah. I think I have the necessary skills to drive. You know? I know the rules. But I don't want to hit anyone. That's true. At least back roads don't see nearly as many cars. Oh yeah, sim racing. I have... On several occasions, I have attempted to use various video games to train out that dissociation response. But sadly, my brain can tell the difference. Which absolutely sucks, because if you listen to all those conservative mom groups out there, you know... all of the violent video games I play mean that I should be, you know... I'm out here, I'm regularly committing violent crimes. But, it doesn't work for this specific thing, so... it's a shame, really. I wish my thing was just an energy issue, but it's full-on, dissociation. Which is a panic response that is somewhere between, freeze and fawn. In case you were curious. I described it just a minute ago as my brain going, okay, let's take a step back from the situation. And that is basically right. One of the notable sensations is, I will kind of feel like, I am about, like, 3 feet behind my body, like, emotionally. So the part of me that's, like, thinking and doing things is far removed from the part of me that is, physically carrying out those actions, and the part of me that is feeling emotions about them. in the end, it creates a surreal experience that I have acclimated to. Bad sign with the ability to acclimate to it, by the way. But yeah. Oh, hey, absolutely. I go to the fucking gym, rock it out there. I appreciate you tuning in for as long as you did. It was nice to see you. Also, hopefully right after this I can take like a nap or something. Because usually doing these streams is, it's not the most draining thing that I do in a day. You know? But it's up there. It's, you know, I get sleepy after. I need to take a break from things. Try and join later, but have a good one. I only do these for like an hour. Hate to say. It's the Daily Peak singular. Wouldn't you like a taste of the power? Absolutely. You have a good day as well, bud. Wouldn't you like to use more than words? Deep in the night, the fight lasts for hours. You could be heard, you could beat her. Fuck. Okay. That's not ideal. Also, if you guys can faintly hear some kind of ambient, like, sci-fi-ish music in the background, this is because I have RimWorld open just on the main menu. See ya! This is because I have a mod pack so big that it takes half an hour to load. So instead of waiting through that every time, I do just kind of leave it running most of the time. And like usually I start it up after stream. That is not the case today. Because I got stressed out last night, so, you know. Made the executive decision to start playing at like 6 a.m. or whatever. It was, yeah. Every so often you open the short with the dog in it? Hell yeah. It's a good dog. I need to do more animation. I need to... Digi, when I was sitting in a call with you, I got some of the most done that I have in the last, like, month. We need to schedule another one of those. The power. Okay. I think I'm screwed here. But that's the checkpoint flag. I will teleport back to it when I die. And I will do so with all of the items that I have on my person. So if I come down here and I find some items that I can use to climb, I mean, airplane food's something. It is an item. But yeah, I need to do some animation stuff. Because I have been looking into getting into, like, vintage story modding. So I wanted to make a test, like, armor set. And I wanted to do some animations of the character in that armor set moving around. Vintage Story seems to have, like, a really easy system for modding, actually. So, you know. Seems like a good place to start. It's apparently just, like, JSON files. Well, up to a point. When you hit a certain level of complexity, you need to do other stuff, but, you know. Okay. Well, it's not exactly a rope dart, but airplane food, helpful. Wouldn't you like a taste of the magic? It is its own thing. At least if I remember correctly. Which, does mean that it does have that notable issue of, at least in terms of the multiplayer servers, I have heard this. Everything goes through a single thread on your computer. So there is a hard cap on the amount of processing power that you have access to. And it only does that for multiplayer, apparently. Because that is not an issue for the single player. And, at least the techie I was talking to has no idea why. It is. It is less than ideal. But it is still... They prioritize the whole thing for single player, primarily. I feel like a lot of their advertising usually comes through from multiplayer, so I'm not sure if it's the best idea? Because Vintage Story has seen its biggest spikes with, like, Rubik's Raptor and Iron Mouse playing it, and they play with friends. And other people would like to have a similar experience to that. So, ideally, some performance updates get released at some point, but until then... yeah, at least it is easy to make the mods in the first place. Even if you may have to do a ridiculous level of optimization if you want it to work properly on multiplayer. I am curious how much you can, yeah. Survival crafting types, you know. But yeah. I mean, to be fair, it was made by the kind of people who play Terra Firma Craft. So I'm not surprised that they might focus a little harder on on the single player aspects. But it is a little annoying. Yeah, no, Vintage Story is basically some people were playing Terra Firma Craft and were like, this is great, but I feel like the Minecraft is getting in the way of this survival experience. Which, if you wanna take that into your brain, you know, absorb that information real quick. And it's a great game. It does some really in-depth survival simulation. You know, like it's got full like Copper Age shit. It's a whole, yeah. But also, some of the biggest parts of its scene are modding and multiplayer, and the like a decent portion of the dev team seems to just be rejecting that knowledge. Because they're sat there like, ah, yes, it's time to rework all of the game's most important core systems. Just to make it impossible for modders to, you know, update their shit. We're just gonna make everyone, abandon their current projects and either never return to them, or, you know, have a whole new generation of mods spring up. Because, yeah, they're reworking the smithing system. Smithing is, a notable aspect of the game. They're also adding fishing systems, which is, reworking some AI things, I believe? What? Hold on. Literally driving right now. Hey, boss, I don't care how many people you want to bring to my stream. Don't watch don't watch stream and drive. Account created today. Yep. I'm guessing it's a scam bot, but also I feel the need to make the point. Bleh. But yeah. Yeah, Vintage Stories dev team, the next steps they are taking are continuing to focus on single player and overhauling a lot of systems that the community's most popular mods are based on. So we're gonna have a fun transition into this next update. Thankfully, it shouldn't meaningfully affect the like clothing mods and stuff. And that's kind of what I'm interested in making right now. Because I'm basically just sat here like, I would like to make some late industrial era armor designs. Late industrial era. Don't you love how I'm talking about the 1920s? But like fully that I am referring to the 1920s. I am looking into making things like industrial era armor designs for, you know, servers that are using like firearm mods and stuff. Because those are specialized in very specific ways. The invention and proliferation of firearms really changed how we design armor. But yeah, if you go back to like World War I, you can find photos of soldiers who are basically just wearing like a steel breastplate and some basic arm and leg guards. Because fully, it's like, yeah, those are the places where you will die instantly if you're hit. So notably, like, colonial period, you have firearms which are very powerful, but also not particularly accurate, and all of that, and take forever to reload. So in the colonial era, you have armor which is compensating for that. That is the, like, tier of weaponry that you're fighting. Is your opponent has a flintlock pistol and a knife, effectively. Because they're both easy to conceal on your person, and they are, you know, like a solid pairing. If you get someone in the right place with a flintlock, they will just go down instantly. And that's kind of the strategy. Is I am looking to shoot a person and they die instantly, and I don't have to worry about them anymore. So the point of armor in that era was, okay, our, like, flintlock weapons aren't super accurate, and they are powerful, but they are only going to happen, like, once or twice. So in your average scrap, you will be shot maybe twice max. And you will be dealing with weapons that have very low accuracy while people are aiming for, like, center of mass, roughly. So you wear a big steel plate over most of your torso, and the bits of you that are smaller and harder to hit just don't usually get armor. Because you're protecting the vital organs and, like, nothing else. And after that, it is a knife fight, basically. Like, when you get into the ridiculously fancy formal attire of the Revolutionary War, a lot of those outfits aren't just like, oh yeah, we're just wearing cloth because all of this shit kills you instantly if it hits you, so why bother, right? The situation is actually, yeah, we're wearing our, like, fancy outfits, and we have, like, giant steel plates in the waistcoat.
and those will protect center of mass from, like, a gunshot. And the idea is, you only need to survive one, and then we all hope you can charge in fast enough that you don't need to bother to survive another. Right? That's, like, about where the armor design is. That's kind of the focus. So you hit a point of, okay, we would like our soldiers to have their vitals protected, but also be as unburdened as possible. Because if you're wearing full plate, you're moving so slowly that your enemy actually does have a chance to reload. And the goal is to get in very quickly with your knife and go at them. So, light medium armor, solid vitals protection, that maximize mobility. So you have shit like the bulletproof waistcoat, which is just a waistcoat with solid steel plates in there. It's like, yeah, they can take like 3 or 4 shots from a flintlock before they need to be replaced. Or you have much sturdier situations like, I have seen photos of a World War I soldier in just a full steel breastplate. Like, covering a majority of the torso and a little bit of the upper legs. Like, full-on breastplate, you know? And that is a solid inspiration there. So in, like, vintage story terms, this is steel tier armor designed to compensate for the existence of firearms in a server. Which is, it breaks quickly, but protects a lot, and is easy to repair. That's kind of where you're at. And also, it looks fancy. Because again, you're just putting big steel plates into, like, existing clothing. You can make it look really nice. So you have the fun mix of utility and, like, you know, fashion in there. And that's how you get the fancy Redcoats uniform. Which sadly only existed for a little bit, because guerrilla warfare was invented shortly following the fancy coats era of armor. So it's like, okay, yeah, we need to, like, actually hide people. Yeah, sadly, fancy coats didn't last forever, but they were amazing while they lasted. There, I've kind of just been rambling about industrial era armor design, and I did fully forget the point. I feel like there was one. I just don't remember it. Like, I was going somewhere with this. Okay, red is speed. I was kind of hoping for healing. Oh, god damn it. I guess yellow is healing, and healing just doesn't affect spores like I thought it did. Something about clothing mods in Vintage Story. I want to make fancy outfits. That's where I'm at. I would like to 3D model some fancy Vintage Story outfits, and I would like to animate characters wearing them. It's the simple pleasures of life. Fancy outfit. End of list. Whew. In a perfect world, I would also like to make situations like natural gas lamps, so you can have that like basic extraction process. I also like I remember that one of the notable things is someone has pointed out to me a few times, the Victorian era was really big for like hauntings and stuff, and the Victorian era was also the era in which we all lit our homes using a bunch of natural gas in kind of poorly sealed containers and pipes. And I do believe that is one of the funniest explanations for all hauntings in the Victorian era, basically. Because, oh yeah, good point. We were using natural gas for all that, huh? Chemical that notably causes hallucinations. Yeah, alright. I can see how some of that happened now. It's alright. No way I was surviving a meaningful amount of time without turning into bones. So now I do need to be fairly careful about my falls. It was bad. It was very bad. So that was a zombie. And I can't tell if it's awake or not. So that's fun. Note that I am saying fun with a lot of contempt in my voice. It's fun in the same way that Dwarf Fortress's, like, unofficial motto is losing is fun. In the same way that every time on the Dwarf Fortress wiki, fun is mentioned, it's usually in the context of a bunch of dwarves dying. For instance, be careful how you build these systems, otherwise you might have a lot of fun. Like, oh yeah, I almost forgot that fun is shorthand for fatalities in this game. Deep in the night, the fight lasts for hours. You could be hurt, you could be hurt. Wouldn't you like a taste of the magic? Wouldn't you like to use more than words? Oh, deep in the night, the fight lasts for hours. You could be hurt, you could beat her. God, I'd get beaten by Odysseus any day. Sadly, he is a wife guy. So. No world in which I could play a convincing enough imitation of his wife. And even if I did, he's definitely the bottom in that relationship. So, no point to it. Ah, shit. I forgot how instantly you could die as a skeleton. That was so fast. What? Mushrooms are supposed to cushion your falls. Alright, well. Oh, I have just realized. I took my normal meds, I did not take my vitamins. I'm going to do that real quick. This is a second call. If you guys have meds to take, do that. Oh yeah, I don't know where my pill cutter is. I have a specific thing for it, though. I'll find it. I'll find it eventually. I don't know. It's not an ADHD meds day, so. Alright. Lovely. Well, on that note, that is all for today's Daily Peak. I really appreciate everyone who is tuned in here. Your viewership is very much appreciated. And I will be seeing all of you guys next time. Bye.